Wow. What do you think of that? What don't you think of that? I think that girl has got everything that she deserves.
It's alright, Mummy's going for a wee baby. Have I ever hurt you in any way? No? Then relax. It's Brittany, bitch. Anyway, Hayley wrote a comment on our Facebook one, this one. Yeah?
Yeah.
She said, do you guys do requests? Titanic next, see if Jack could fit on the door. Let's fucking come up with something. You can be Rose, Jack, and I'll be like, bitch, move, and throw you off the fucking door or something.
Come back.
Yeah, back. And I'll be like, you gonna let me die, is it?
Yeah, you'd be like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Now move.
Oh.
I could be like, it's my turn, bitch, and throw you off the door or something. That would be quite funny. I've got a long bit of wood in the U-room. We'll just put a handle on it.
Fucking hell.
I mean, he looked rough as fuck.
I mean, I don't think I've seen this Escape from LA.
No, but I feel like I need to watch it. But I get what he's saying, otherwise you're going to end up looking like that. Hey, you guys! Oh. Have you pressed record?
Yeah.
I'm not even logged on, brother. Saying I haven't done very much, but I feel like I've done a lot today.
So much.
Right, yappa. Shanice, your lips are moving. Could you shut up? Right, let me go back. You ever wonder what's going on in my head? It's a lot, babe. Do you know, when I was researching the I said to fucking Linda, I was like, do you think there's like something mentally wrong with me? She went, yeah. Do you know I had my headset in with music full blast and the TV on whilst focusing in on exactly what I was doing. So it's not like I can hear what's going on, but it's like
I don't know how you can do with so much noise.
It is in order to be able to completely focus on what I'm doing when I'm doing like paperwork and stuff, and like when I'd done all Paul's pitfalls and all that was up till 3 o'clock in the morning with music blasting in my ears, putting all the information together. It's the only way I can get my brain to focus on something. I feel like it's not normal either.
It's really not.
Okay.
It's really not.
It's really not. Right. Back to Reddit, darling. Where am I? Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think what this is. It's not coming to me, but I know it. Yeah. Yeah. Like, what is it? Why isn't it coming to me? What is it from? Tell me.
I don't know.
You do.
I don't.
It is. There's a video trying to play in my head, and I'm like, what is it? Right, on to my favourite. I actually have saved more than I've saved 1, 2. Oh no, I found a story which is then going to be next podcast, and it's Creepy Encounters, which has nothing to do with this, but I thought I'd tell you. And the title and the reason I saved it was, I found out my neighbour was living in my attic for months. That's my next choice, by the way. I was like, yes, to my next podcast. Right, anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've saved 5. I get very excited on this Reddit. Oh no, I've got short ones, that's why I did it, so it's not too bad. And then have I only got 2 long ones? I was running out of like brain energy. That's quite long. I'm just going through that short.
Brain energy.
So I've got 2 long, 2 short, that's not too bad.
No.
That's right, we can fit that in. You're like, no.
2,
I got
3. I've definitely got 4.
Is that your phone?
No, it was my laptop actually.
Or did I not like that one?
I don't know, shall we start?
I'm like, ah. Okay. I don't know if I want to read that one. Right, anyway. Oh, anyway. Yeah. Hello everyone and welcome to Middle Aged Opinion. I'm your host Ellie.
And I'm your host Emily, and today we are looking at ghost stories. Ghosties, ghosties, go away. You're not real anyway. It's been a long day. That was courtesy of my friend Sarah.
Every time, Sarah, we do ghost encounters, we think of you.
So you're always with us.
Yours in our heart. Always in my heart. Always. Phil Collins.
I know.
I'm just saying.
I listened to you butcher it then.
You know he... Whoa. You know he wrote that for his daughter.
Aww.
I know. I know.
Moving on. So, ghosts, guys.
She's jealous.
I'm not. My ex-husband wrote me a couple of songs.
Yeah, they were great. Real jives.
Again, moving on.
Yeah.
So,
okay. It's over to you.
oh, am I starting?
Yes.
Oh, I'm starting.
It's your
Ghosties.
choice.
Oh, okay.
You're like, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And my first ghost story. So,
If I yawn, it's no offence.
she's so rude. There we are.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay.
Right, so the stairs in my attic had smelled like burnt hair for 3 days. Extremely odd because it was just that area and I had a very old drafty house. On day 4, I came home from work just before midnight, and as soon as I walked through the door, I felt like I had someone standing over my shoulder, breathing down my neck. The feeling was so strong that I opened my medicine cabinet so the mirror was against the wall.
Fair enough, I get that.
I also showered with the shower curtain open because I had a powerful need to see the room.
Fair play.
After are you commentating all the way through my story?
You did with mine.
Right.
I'm just helping you.
After a shower, I was a little less on edge until I walked past my 4-year-old daughter's room. The door was closed, but I heard her talking in her sleep. Then I heard a loud crash. I slowly opened the door to find her sleeping on the top of the covers and the pile of stuffed animals she insisted on sleeping with scattered across the room. I turned the light on low, looking around the room, and checked her breathing. All seemed well, so I went to bed. The next morning, I asked her if she had a bad dream. Her. Yeah, there was a man with no arms and sores on his face, and he kept laughing at me. I told him to go away, but he wouldn't. Then an arm came out of the wall, threw me into the ceiling, and I crashed back down on my bed and went back to sleep. Me. Sauce on his face? Her. Yeah, like red spaghetti.
The fuck, man. The fuck. The actual fucking fuck.
That's not a nice story, is it?
It's really not a nice story. It's like something wants to hurt her. Her daughter. It's funny that I've got a lot of children ones today.
I don't think I've got a lot of children ones. It just happened to be a children one.
It's actually like something's going on. The problem is they say that children can see what we can't see, same as animals. I don't know if I'd cleanse, but I definitely wouldn't acknowledge. And I'd probably move my daughter into bed with me.
So she went on to say, or someone said, nope, no thank you.
Yeah.
And she replied with, yes, smudged every corner of every room of the house, ending at the front door, smudged everyone who lives in the house before I let the rest of them come back in. Haven't had any major incidences since, but since we've been in the house, once every year or so, something, sometimes a full box, falls off a shelf in the basement or attic. That hasn't stopped.
So it's like something is there trying to get their attention and I wouldn't let it. I don't like the fact that the daughter had a dream. The problem is there's no way of proving whether she was thrown or...
Well, she said she was on top of the blankets, didn't she? On top of the sheets. So it would be hard to...
I mean, I don't know. I'd be very, very upset and uncomfortable. Because that's quite a story for a 4-year-old.
Yeah. It's big, isn't it?
Yeah, so it just makes me feel extremely uncomfortable. I don't know, I'd be worried.
Describing a man with no arms and red like spaghetti around his face.
Yeah, blood. Could you? No, I couldn't. No, I couldn't.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay,
Go on.
right. This happened to me and my 4-year-old son.
Really?
I told
What is
you.
with the 4-year-olds?
I don't know. I don't know if when they're young, the veil is thin, I think. So, I'm a very logic and level-headed person. I have never really believed in the paranormal, but I am really disturbed by 2 experiences that have happened to me and my son within the recent months. The first incident happened when I woke up to my son screaming at 4 a.m. I ran down the hall and into his room, carefully shutting the door behind me because I didn't want to wake my daughter in the room adjoining. My son was visibly upset and admitted that he had heard a noise. I reassured him that everything was okay and that he needed to go back to sleep. As I was tucking him into bed, I leaned over to give him a kiss. At that moment, we both heard 3 knocks at his door. The best way I can describe it is that the knocks came from a higher up on the door and were very intentional, human-like. I immediately felt uneasy, but my brain rationalised it to be my husband. But when I opened the door, there wasn't anybody there. The second incident happened last week. I woke up with a migraine and stayed home with my son. My husband ran out to the gym and I was finally feeling better, so decided to take a shower. My son brought his Legos into our bedroom and I showered while he played in the bathroom/bedroom. After my shower, I brushed my hair and I clearly heard my husband say, "Hi guys, I'm home," like he always does. My son looked up at me and said, I think I heard Daddy." He ran over to the window to look for his truck outside. I went cold when he said, "Nope, Daddy isn't here." I was so spooked. I locked us in the bedroom and called my husband if he had come home. We have a camera downstairs in the living room, no audio that we use to keep an eye on the dogs. There was nothing on the camera, so what did we both hear?
I hate shit like that.
I hate shit like that.
So knocking on the door, she's opened the door.
So the 3
now
knocks.
she's heard voices.
Yeah, the 3 knocks. So when she says the 3 knocks, that is generally described to be evil. 666. The Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. So it's the 3. When it comes in 3s, it's said to be like a fuck you. Do you know what I mean? Like a mockery. That is, so when I read and she said the 3 knocks, I was like, mate, I don't know if something with bad intention is there, but the same thing I say every single time: do not acknowledge, and maybe seek a cleanse by a priest or something like that. I don't like it.
Ugh.
So the top
Hate
comment,
it.
no, I hate it. Did your son describe the noise that upset him in the night? I experienced a lot of mimicking and phantom sounds in my house when I grew up. My mum would hear some of them too. She would hear what she thought was us kids calling her. Often we weren't there. I once heard a woman crying who wasn't there. He didn't He didn't describe the noise that night, but honestly, I usually try to distract him and reassure him that everything is okay. I thought maybe he was hearing the AC clicking off or the house crackling. The knocks were not anything of the sort though. I can't think of literally any logical thing that would have made that noise than a person. I've been shaken up ever since.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah, I think it's okay to seek. I mean, the 3 knocks is what's made me uneasy the most, because I told you like what that said to me. So
I wonder if she realises that.
fuck knows, man. But it's like quite scary. It is quite scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it too.
Okay, let's talk about ghost stories.
Yeah. You're like ghost stories. I'm like, really?
I've done that for ages.
Yeah.
Like
You
Home
sure?
Alone this week, why not? With my parrot.
You do tend to do it at those times.
I know.
And the parrot goes, Emily.
If it says my name, I'm chucking it out the window.
No, you're not.
No, I really will.
I'll bring it here.
It will not. How does it know my name? How does it know my name?
Because it hears me on the phone.
It doesn't hear you on the phone.
I don't know.
It wouldn't know my name. They call me Mum.
Maybe it can read.
Okay, moving on. Okay. I stayed at my grandmother's house that my father spent a large amount of his time as a kid. My father drove us up there in one go and was understandably tired after a 17-hour drive.
Fucking hell.
We all started to lay down, and my father checked in on us before going to bed himself. As he stopped himself and told us to cover a large mirror or you will have nightmares. Now, nightmares from a mirror of all things sounded like a little fun to me, but my brothers, who were also sleeping in the same room, asked me to cover it. I did. I asked my dad about it before he left, and he said ghosts use it as an entryway.
Portal, innit?
Yes. A week later, I brought it up with my grandmother, and she scoffed, saying, "Oh, this house ain't haunted." I agreed, but told her that the reason I brought it up was because my dad told me to cover a mirror. My grandmother then changed her expression and said, "Oh, the mirror." Apparently, that mirror came from her grandmother. She worked as a nurse and took in those who were going to die, but could not pay for care on their last days. So she made her home into a hospice. Those who stayed in the room with the mirror saw things. A lovely old lady saw and heard a young lady coming into her room and played a harp. She was thankful for the lovely songs, but no person was known, nor was a harp owned or heard elsewhere. Stop it.
You haven't plugged in the...
It's fine.
Okay. Finish this and then plug
Yeah.
it in, yeah?
No, why is she touching me?
The mirror. No.
It's turn. Fuck off. Fuck off. A young boy found an older boy who played games with him and really knew his games. Lastly, a terrible woman refused to use the bathroom and shat in a cooking pot, then hid it under her bed.
Fair play.
And, well, as argue issued everyone daily. Saw and... Hold on. What the fuck? Where have I got to? So, lastly, a terrible woman refusing to use the bathroom and shut in the cooking pot, then hid it under her bed, and, well as argue issued everyone daily, saw, and this is the words, the devil that spat fire at her. The police were called and she tried to accuse the nurse of trying to kill her with the devil. I also got stories from my mother seeing the same young lady who played the harp without her harp at that time. And my grandfather sees the devil guy. My grandfather described it as a red man with horns that was too tall for the room he was in, so he's still standing up straight, bent his neck down to fit. It stared down at him and simply asked slowly, "Why are you here?" I keep the mirror covered.
Yeah, so that mirror feels like a definite portal and should be behind holy fucking glass in some sort of museum where people can't have access to it. Fuck that. What they're keeping the mirror for?
Yeah, I feel like the mirror needs to go.
The mirror needs to go to like an expert like fucking Lorraine and
Like,
Ed
that's
Warren,
far too many
where they had a
stories.
museum of stuff that were conduits and held the spirits. Like, take the fucking mirror somewhere else. Fuck that.
Yeah, it's naughty. It's gotta go.
Gotta go.
Ew, the mirror. Yeah, that mirror, Nan. Like,
Yeah.
what other mirror would I be talking about?
Oh, the one with the devil. I hear you.
Ghosts aren't real. Oh, the mirror. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. Did you want to sleep in there tonight? Not really. No. Yeah.
Do I have another choice?
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving
Comments?
on. Oh, literally, I only had one comment on this one because this is within a Reddit.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
someone decided to write back, "This is House Bra. Why is you here?"
Anyway.
Yes.
It's so fucking random. Okay. Just need to tell someone about this.
Oh, tell us.
I don't believe in this stuff. I still don't think I do, but I need to get this off my chest, and I don't have anyone in my personal life I can tell. Last night I was putting my 1-year-old daughter to bed, rocking her in her room in the dark. The door to her room was open by almost half an inch, with a small amount of light coming in the room down the hall. From my provisional vision, I saw a change in light and looked at the crack of the doorway to see something blocking the light part way. Light part way. Up. Why am I getting confused? Up that definitely wasn't. Oh, definitely wasn't there before. It was as though something was standing about a foot or so away from the door looking in. I hadn't heard my wife coming up the stairs and was immediately on high alert. I leaned side to side to try and get a picture of how weird the object was and if it maybe was just a trick of the light. I pretty quickly determined it wasn't a mistake and that it was about a person's width between 5'3" and 5'6" tall. It was at this point that I did something that probably sounds pretty silly, but it was the only thing that I could think to do. I tensed up, put my weight towards my feet, and started to growl and bare my teeth like a chimp. I mean, I get that. The obstruction didn't move, but I was locked onto it. My daughter picked up on how tense I was and started to cry. As she did, I put her in a crib whilst keeping my eyes on the door and watched as the object moved right before my eyes, out of the way and to the left. I quickly went for the door and swung it open, still as tense up, ready to fight, but there was nothing there, nobody was there. I picked the baby back up because she was still crying and heard my wife walk up the stairs to help with the baby to get her to sleep. I didn't tell my wife because she is a big believer in the paranormal and would have absolutely freaked out and probably would have taken the baby to stay at her parents' house. She has previously experienced questionable things in our house that have made her nervous, but this might put her over the edge. The same reason is why I still can't tell her about it or her parents, since her mother is also superstitious. But I needed to get it off my chest. Since woken again, I don't believe in the paranormal, and it's really fucking weird. And before someone says there's somebody living in my house, there's not. It's a small town house, way too confined for anybody to hide anywhere. The attic entrance also has no ladder, while the attic is windowless and nobody is getting in or out of there.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, no.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard anyone growl at it before.
I do get what he means by that, like to show aggression, unless he thought it was a person and the growling would make the person think there was a dog in the room. That came to my mind. I was like, he's trying to be like, there's somebody in my house and that's not my wife.
I mean, I suppose growling would be better than actually acknowledging it with words.
We are animals, right? So, someone said, top comment, sorry. I agree, it could not have been a person. No matter how hard one tries, they can't remain completely still for a long period of time. But your vision of their shadow did not seem like you saw it swaying back and forth also. A person would not be able to move and just disappear by the time that you reach the door. It's making my body cold. You say that you are skeptical, and I am not trying to change that. However, there are things that have no easy answer to explain. I do not believe a single shadow would mean a haunting. It did, however, cause quite a stir, did it not? Opie did respond. Something I just thought of that makes me think that maybe it was a sensory manipulation. We have a dog who barks at everything that comes near the house, to the point that, to my dismay, those people with the loud dogs, but she didn't react to the situation at all. So she clearly didn't hear or smell anything off. Again, it's just rationalisation, isn't it?
Mm.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean,
something made his cerebellum go on high alert into fight and flight, right? Like something
he was ready to rip something apart.
He was ready, like a fucking chimp, like he said. He went back to his fucking caveman days and was like, not on my fucking watch, that just scared me. She just walked round the fucking corner. Damn! Okay, that's it.
Oh, I hate shadows.
Yeah, I don't like shit like, especially when you know that you've seen. I mean, that happens all the time on a daily occurrence, but you just pretend that it ain't. But when it's there for a long period of time,
yeah, almost like it's watching.
Yeah, that is awful.
Yeah,
that is awful.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like, I don't know. It's awful. Anyway, go on.
Okay. My dad worked in security. I got into it after he passed. One night I was called on my night off. They needed someone to go fill in for another site. I never worked the site before, but hey, over time I accepted. It was one of my dad's old sites, so it was about 0200 in the morning.
Okay.
So
I was like,
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm doing a round. I enter one of the buildings and I think I see someone moving up ahead. It is 2 o'clock and the building is locked. There should not be anyone in there. I'm quietly close to the door behind. I quietly closed the door behind me and creep up for a closer look. At the end of the hall is a security guard. which is odd as I'm the only guard on duty at the time. So I am eyeing this guy and I notice the uniform. It is for a company that doesn't exist anymore. In fact, it is for the company my dad worked for when he was at this site. So it hits me that it is my dad. I'm standing there watching him. He's apparently doing a round of the building that I am patrolling. So I watch him. He looks directly at me as if he could see me. He looks at me for about 30 seconds or so. He then turns the corner. I run to catch up with him, but he was gone. Almost 2 years later, I still swear I actually saw him that night. I don't know if it was a ghost, if I was hallucinating because it was one of his old posts and I was emotional, or if maybe somehow time loops exist and I actually saw him working the site in the past. I honestly don't know, but every time I have a night off and they can't find anyone to fill in, I jump at it. No longer for the overtime, but with the hope that whatever happened the first time happens again. I have filled in there over 20 times since that encounter and I haven't seen anything since.
I really like that. I don't suggest you talk to it, but I really like that. I do like that.
What do you reckon? What could that be? Like, it could have been any of
I
those
like
things,
the
right?
time loop theory,
That one.
but I also think that maybe it was his dad visiting him on the rounds, which I like.
Yeah.
I do, I like that. And it's quite nice and comforting to think that that happened. So that's where I'm going. Top comment?
I always wonder if this sort of thing represents a time slip. A moment where everything lines up just right for two points in time to overlap briefly, giving you a glimpse of your dad. And perhaps he had a strange encounter with a ghostly version of you years earlier.
That's what I mean, that he hasn't met yet. The son that he doesn't know that he has. Yeah. Either way, either one is nice to think about.
Yeah, or even like that's his grown-up son that he doesn't
If
know
he was a
who
ghost,
looks
then
like
that, yeah. It's, I mean, the whole thing is nice, but
There's
I
something
wouldn't.
humbling about
I
it.
wouldn't
isn't
start.
there? Going
Dave,
to chat. It's
are you
me.
going to plug it in or not bother? Does it sound very different without it? Just a little bit of a distance.
Change in tone.
Yeah. Okay, my last one. She's like, really, is it? My possible Fae encounter.
Fae.
I'm gonna have to re-Google. It's like gone.
Fae.
Yeah.
Okay.
F-A-E. Fae. Fae is a term with multiple meanings. Magical, supernatural, fairies, so spirits. It can a different number of things.
Okay.
I think what I thought was most people believe that it's like a fairy.
Okay.
Okay. I'm a 18-year-old guy. I started having sightings which I strongly believe are due to the Fae. I recently learned about them, read stories, and many things seem to add up. I don't know if they are attracted to me. Fucking another Fruit Loop. I haven't actually read this one. Or I can somehow see through the thing they hide behind for a while. So the way this works is that usually I see a couple of seconds and then they suddenly are gone. I've not suffered from any kind of mental illness, and the creatures are not something that I can make up. I am not that creative. Just read a book, bruv. I'm doing my own commentary. That's what I'm like when I'm reading it. There are some creatures that I've seen many times So I live in an area that is surrounded by forest, and on the autumn day I was hiking in the woods, and behind my backyard on the hill I saw a little creature wearing a dark cloak with collars stop it, that seemed to be made of fallen leaves. It's like that film. That's a great fucking film in my head. And it's hard, and its head seemed like a skull or of a bird. I don't think it showed itself intentionally, because it started running and then it was gone. The reason this memory freaks me out is that it was a windless day, and for a few seconds I saw leaves were moving as it ran away. I saw this creature the second time at least, and I think it was the same thing. Out of curiosity, I hiked there again and the next day, but this time it was really huge. It was really huge, and I felt like it was warning me about its territory. So I turned back and went home and avoided the area if possible. Okay. My second one, which is pretty common, is to see those little people who seem to like a mix between some kind of rodent and a human walk in my house. They never seem hostile, maybe grumpy. I believe that they are brownies or some other type of house spirits. These are ones that I would like to talk to and talk about, and curious, what do you think about it, since I'm still not sure. P.S. English is not my first language, so don't roast me. He's read the Chronicles of Narnia. No, you know what I'm thinking of? The boy.
In the house.
No, yes. And the Gremlins book. Or whatever, yes. What do you think? Do you think he's off his head, or do you think he's... I do believe people see shit. We're not the only things.
No. And
I do believe in fairies
and stuff. I'm on the same page with how I feel about like spirits. Like
I don't know if they're there for us to see, but I definitely think something's going on. But this bloke is like he's reading the book to me. That's what's bothering me.
Yeah,
Top comment. I'm curious, have these encounters been recent? It's probably just the fact that this is 4 years ago, by the way, I look for posts and comments about Fae more often these days, but I've been getting the feeling that Fae encounters are increasing. That's what I'm saying. It's like the fail is becoming thinner as the years go by.
I can't say that I'm hearing more about fairies.
I mean, it depends what side of fucking the internet you're on, innit? 2 years ago, I would have laughed at the idea of fairies being real. Now they're like a regular occurrence in my life. This is somebody else, yeah? The timing also coincides with a very strange, vivid dream I had about 2 years ago, where a beautiful, I don't even want to say it, a beautiful deer woman came to me and told me that I have to get humans to allow the Fae to join the humans. She said bears are not Fae in my dream, but I knew what she was talking about, otherworldly beings like herself. I've never had a dream so random or potent in my life. I woke up crying because I knew my task. She left me and was impossible. OP did answer that, and he said, well, what are you saying? What you are saying is really interesting. I only had dreams about my first ever encounter. I'm not sure what it is. You know, it's interesting though, babe, because there is more and more people talking about this stuff, and I don't know, because it's like there has been like a change, and I don't know if that's because of the internet, all this weird shit that people are like, I mean, now the government are like, yeah, there's aliens in the sea and that sort of thing. 20 years ago, and that is like a fact. So 20 years ago, we would have been like, oh my God. Now we're like, Is it gonna?
We really wouldn't have been 20 years ago.
Is it gonna reduce our council tax? No.
No. Do we have to rent a room to them?
Yes. Are they paying council tax? Do you get what I'm saying? And that is, I mean, that is 100%. Yes, they've confirmed UFOs are here on our planet. So you do know that, don't you?
Well, I just hope for the fairies' sake that they realise that the minute they are exposed, they're going to have to start paying taxes. So if I was there,
The aliens aren't.
I would just keep myself to myself. And as for a dear lady, I can't even envision that.
You know,
But as
me
in like
neither.
a deer
What
that
in
spoke to him.
Oh my God!
Are we talking about like mythical Greek, half man, half
I have no
horse
idea. What's
what-
interesting as well is that
Not that that makes any.
you got half the people going, it's Project Bluebeam, all this weird shit that's going on.
I don't
and
know
then
what that is.
it's like AI. So the government are saying there's aliens here, blah blah blah, and all the stuff that's been on the news, and it has been all over the news, all over the world.
Right.
They're saying that it's AI, that they've generated it to make us believe, blah blah blah, to prepare us for whatever's going on next. And then you've got the ones that are like, yeah, we've been saying there's aliens here since like we could breathe. So that's the thing, babe, are the veils becoming thinner because more and more people are spotting shit? Like basically, so when you're a child, you see the ghosts and whatever, this, that and the other, and you're like, oh, Daddy, I saw a fairy. Is that becoming thinner now we're adults because we give a shit less and less? Do you see what I'm saying? Something is shifting, babe, or is it that we're hearing about it more because the whole world is connected via social media? That's my point.
I mean, the logical is because of social media.
Right. So we're just reporting on it. And I'm not going to say no that something isn't going on with the bloke, but I don't know. It's one you could go on and debate about. I mean, think of the mimic thing. You'd never heard of that before. I had never heard of that before then a few years ago when I was like, what the fuck is that? And then people are like, this is what happens here in the Appalachian Mountains where I live. And there's too many for too long to go, that's
that's
bullshit.
not real.
And then, of course, then
It's
you've
all
got
the drugs they're on.
and now all the fucking sirens
Appalachian.
and the mermaids and all this stuff that's going on. You get to the point where you're like, it's probably all the fairy tales, all the fucking myths and all this, it's all probably fucking true.
It's probably true because now that we've got AI and like the fairy folk can see that we're all making it up as we go along anyway. Like no one's going to believe it anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So, all this stuff that is happening and coming to light, some people are going to go, it's bullshit, and then you've got the other people that can go, yeah, true, yeah. But either way, nobody seems to give a shit.
No one gives a shit.
Because life is so fucking hard right now. So I think everyone is just like, yeah, whatever.
As long as they're coming in peace and then they're bringing something positive to the world, who cares?
At this point, abduct me, you know what I mean?
Take me away.
Yeah. Take me away, the secret place. Okay, sorry, go on, finish us off.
Okay. I work with the elderly and I spent a few years working in a specialised dementia facility. At one point we had 2 residents, a man and a woman, who worked at a company called Air Products together for 20 plus years.
Oh.
However, due to the dementia, they did not remember each other. The female resident's dementia was very advanced. Physically, she got around great. However, she was incapable of forming sentences together, like me, or even words sometimes, without it coming out completely gibberish. Fast forward a few months, the male resident passed away. I was at the back of the room while the residents were watching a movie, while the female resident walked by and sat next to me, something she never did. I see her staring off into the back of the room where no one is, and I ask her, what is she up to? She looks at me and clearly says, that's the guy from Air Products. In my 2 years of knowing this resident, I have never heard more than 2 words come out of her mouth clearly. let alone a full sentence like that. I asked her where she saw him, and just like that, her words were back to being jumbled and incomprehensible.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Like, just the whole thing, babe, of what's really. I don't think we ever know what is really going on, or you know, like when I said earlier, we're in a dome. It's just interesting to. It would be interesting to know what's fully controlled, what we're allowed to know, what we don't know, why certain people see things, why don't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, Jenna, she's told this story before, but we went up to Box Hill, we were in junior school, and she got lost. And to this day, she, hand on her heart, she will tell you that a fairy brought her back to the group. She will tell you that. She'll be able to describe it and everything. So, something happened that day. She got lost, she was brought back safely, in her words, by a fairy. So, do I believe? I believe her. So, you've gone from a child saying that to now it's a memory, it's a core memory of something that happened to her. So, yeah, there is other shit and other stuff that we don't see. Why don't we see it? Because we're ignorant to it. Do you know what I mean? I believe that as well.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong, if I'm in the forest and I'm doing one of my runs and a fucking fae jumps out at me, I'm going to literally shit myself like I'm doing the marathon.
If it's too close to me, I'll probably toe punt it.
Or would I be like,
Hey!
oh my god,
come and live in my house!
come and live in my house! Yeah, and then I'm ready and you're going, oh my god. But you see what I'm saying? I just think there is just so much going on that we just have no fucking idea about. And yeah, so another thing that I've come across while we're on this whole fucking weird thing. So there is apparently, there is a law somewhere in some country where they do not let their residents talk to the dolphins. Now, I don't know what the fuck that means, but it's like they're not allowed to do it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Right, so basically, the talking as in the full communication between dolphins and humans is said to be like they fully understand. Yeah, let's have a little moochie woochie. This was just something else I come across and I was like, what? Oh, in the rabbit hole are we? Sorry.
Like, hang on, we've gone from ghosts
She's
to
gonna
not being allowed to talk to dolphins.
It was the face. She's going to ring me at 4 a.m. So I found out why.
Get off.
Oh?
No, it's not illegal to communicate with dolphins in the U.S., but there are some important rules to know. The Marine Mammal
Oh, you are allowed to in the US.
NFPA of 1972
Talk to dolphins.
makes it illegal to harass, feed, or disturb dolphins in the wild.
No,
Fine.
it's not what I was talking about.
Any act that messes
Yeah,
with
that's
their
fine.
usual behaviors like feeding, breeding, or resting. Researchers can get special permits to study dolphins, but these activities are closely monitored. And if you're visiting dolphins at an aquarium or marine park, those places must follow strict guidelines to ensure the dolphins' well-being.
They don't want us, right? Yeah, look. I've already annoyed a few scientists with this title. Why? Because talking to dolphins assumes they have a language in the first place. I can sense the fawn from here. Dolphins are smart, social, and can use tools and carry whatever. I think that says bombs.
It does say bombs.
Okay. How can they not have a language? They must have a few choice words. Blah blah blah. I don't know. There is nothing that makes it make sense. But if you go on TikTok, there's a whole fucking rabbit hole of other shit.
Lily was often away traveling. He had Margaret pick up the mimicry work where he'd left off. Her job was to try to encourage the dolphins to copy the specific
You know they're going to take
Shut up.
it, block all this.
Listen.
Margaret focused on one of the dolphins in particular, the male.
I really chose to work with Peter because he had not
Peter the dolphin.
had any human-like sound training. The other two had. My first goal was to get him to listen while I speak, and then I would listen while he speaks, and we would set up this conversation type thing where we could make some sort of progress.
Today is January 27th. The time is 0900 hours.
Much of the work in the Dolphin House was captured on tape, and these are the real sound recordings of Margaret's lessons.
A-E-I-O.
From the start, Peter was a reluctant pupil.
B for fish. Don't work.
He would listen to me. And I would say, no, Peter, what I want you to do is count to 3. You're going to say 1, 2, 3. And Peter wouldn't repeat everything I told him. He would work on the
Sound.
1, 2, 3. You can do better, Peter.
You're gonna have to take all that out.
Anyways,
But I don't know, it's a whole fucking rabbit hole,
In
babe. In 1962. But yeah, man. So,
you can do better, Peter. Pretty good for a fucking dolphin. Do better.
you do better, bitch. Yeah, how about hold your breath for 20 minutes? Right. Thank you for joining, everyone. We hope you enjoyed today. Sorry it went a bit fucking...
We started talking about ghosts. We ended up on fairies and then dolphins.
It's weird, right?
It's you.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It interests me.
It's funny.
Because I just think, Bab, that the whole fucking... I don't know. What about that fairy?
That's a pretty strong dolphin accent he has.
I'm so tired. Bye.
Surprise.
Oh yeah. You can't even talk. Bye.
Wow. What do you think of that? What don't you think of that? I think that girl has got everything